It's getting to be first selling time. Grunewald buyer is going to be here, but we're going to pick through some of these and keep some and to tan. They're the nicest ones I've ever caught. I think I'm well over about 55. Yeah, you can see these coons. Got some early ones, of course, some late ones. You can tell just by how big they are. But yeah, there's lots of coon in here. Of course, there's lots of little small ones this year too, and some that I trapped for critter control. So I'm probably well over 100 raccoons. Some of those were before the season, and of course we got some bobcats from my brother and a badger here. Really nice badger. It's I got the claws on it. We started to kind of scrape it a little bit. There's one little hole right here, unfortunately, but and the bobcats, yeah, they're not bad. Yeah, this one's really nice. I think we're gonna tan this one. Oops. That's a good one right there. Tan that one, and the fox, and we also got a possum here. Real nice possum. So, good year on the coon. This is the first, about December, 14th today. And hopefully we'll get some nice pictures here at the boys and pick out some of these coons to tan. All right. Out my flesh and animals so far. I got another big cat in there and a badger in here that I'll do another night, but I think these are gonna be the coons I'm gonna tan. And they're obviously, for me at least, are the nicest ones, and they're already pretty well ready to go. These two are from last year. Really pretty looking coons. So I got some more, of course, in here that I'm gonna tan and flesh. And I got about 45 in there, but coon. And then in here I have some more tanners here that I might tan. They're not my priority ones, but of course the badger and the possum up there, I plan to maybe tan those too. Got a really nice possum there. But yeah, we'll get these fleshed up when we get more time this winter and go from there. Well, here's some coons that we did. It's not the best. It got real slimy here, but I've salted them down, so hopefully that'll help. I'm gonna get a box fan tomorrow. I know in the muskrats sometimes they don't always have to be completely perfect, but you can kind of see there you're getting closer to the hide. And maybe I've learned that sometimes you can come back after they dry a little bit. Some of that stuff will come off, but yeah, this one's starting to get a little bit green. The freezer went bad on me, but I went ahead and did this one anyway. We'll see how it turns out. And then of course this one I think was the crawl one. Yep, that's the crawl one that I just caught, that big boar there. So he turned out pretty good. Yeah, there's some streak in there, but I couldn't get any more fat to come off. I tried, it just wouldn't come, so maybe that's just the way coons go. I guess we'll find out. And then of course this one here was one from last year, really pretty one. And of course I think it did really well. You can see that salt's pulling all that moisture out of there. Now I had a couple holes here. Again, this one is getting kind of green too. But this is a real pretty one. And you can see it's pulling the moisture out. It's actually coming down in here. Then we got the bobcat here. I'll have to flip it tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's pretty good. There's a little bit of sinew on there, but for the most part it's good. And I salted this down too. I'm gonna try to get a box fan and everything. But yeah, most of that's just sinew, but that should be good. That's the big bobcat. And then of course we're gonna have these I picked out to tan. So there's a lot more work to do. And we got these new traps from Shields here, the no BS traps, so we'll be getting those tagged up. But I will say that it is a lot of work flushing stuff, and probably only will be doing it to tan things. I'm not interested in $4 or $5 after the work I just had to do on these things. A little fan system I just hooked up here, and I got these 4 hooks. It's gonna get these coon dried out a little bit better. Some of this fat, it just won't come off. I've watched some videos on it, And maybe that's just the hide. Maybe that's just the sinew, but I cannot get that part to come off. Again, salted it really good. And I've had this happen before on muskrats. Sometimes you cannot get that stuff off there. Not to say that we shouldn't be, but I've had it dry and it seems to work out okay. So again, we got some really nice fur here that we can get tanned. And the first night was kind of rough, but now that I got this stuff drying, it makes me feel a lot better. I got a system going here. This cat here, we'll have to dry it out a little bit and then flip it, which I think we'll be able to do tonight, maybe yet. We'll have to see, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, we want to get a little more dry. It's still pretty oily, so. All right, this is the first round, into the first round. We'll be selling the stuff to Grunwald and moving on to the next push, but good to be a trapper.